What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you subscribe so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How is everyone doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. 2 stories, 2 questions. Let's go. Our first story of the day has to do with the Galaxy S23, 23 Plus, and 23 Ultra, and a couple of connectivity upgrades that are coming to these phones. Now, the first thing I want to point out, though, is in this tweet, which is coming from RG Cloud, he does mention the prices that we spoke about yesterday might not be final, so they might end up being a little bit more, a little bit less, the same. So just keep that in mind. And that goes with almost any rumor that we talk about. So just keep that in mind. Also, to add on to this, what he also says is that the 23, if you get the regular S23, you'll get Wi-Fi 6, and you'll finally get ultra wideband. You will not get Wi-Fi 7. Wi-Fi 7 is the newest connectivity for Wi-Fi that you can get, but you also need a Wi-Fi 7 router to take advantage of it. The percentage of people that actually have that is probably very, very slim. To add on to that, the 23 Plus and obviously the 23 Ultra, because the 23 Ultra is better than the 23 Plus, you will get Wi-Fi 7 and you will get ultra wideband. So no matter which Wi-Fi you get, though, for instance, if you get 7, it is back compatible with 6 and 5 and all the other Wi-Fis out there. Wi-Fi 7, if it has it, then it's compatible with it. But again, you will need a Wi-Fi 7 router, which most people do not have. So the big thing with Wi-Fi 7 is you'll get more bandwidth wirelessly versus Wi-Fi 6 in terms of a direct connection with the router wirelessly. So that's really what it comes down to. Our last story is about the Galaxy Z Fold 5, and we're getting a lot of information about this. We're getting dimensions versus the Galaxy Z Fold 4. We're getting stylus information, aka S Pen information, camera information. This is a great little leak potentially of what are things to come to the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Now, this is coming from a site over in Vietnam called The Pixel, and the first thing that they show are the dimensions of the Z Fold 5 versus the Z Fold 4. If you want to read this article in its entirety, I will link it down below like I do all my news stories and all my sources I get information from. So first of all, the Galaxy Z Fold 5 will be taller than the Z Fold 4, 158.5 millimeters versus 155.1 millimeters, but it won't be as fat, at least when it's completely wide open. It'd be 128.5 millimeters versus 130.1 millimeters. To add on to that, we are going to show you that the display size, because the Z Fold 5 has dimensions when folded, it's the same width as the old. It's 3 millimeters taller and 0.4 millimeters thicker. The tilt of the 2 sides of the screen is also reduced when folded. The Fold 4's state, the numbers are 158.5, 128.5, and 6.5. The crease will no longer exist on the Z Fold 5, and we talked about that it'll either be much reduced or maybe completely removed on the Z Fold 5, so that would be a big selling point for a lot of folks that complained about the crease, even though it's not a big deal. The inner screen remains at 7.6 inches in diagonal, so if you wanted a bigger display or smaller, it's staying the same in terms of size, 7.6 inches. The resolution is still 1768 by 2208. The panel is a foldable dynamic AMOLED 2X. The outer screen is protected by Gorilla Victor glass. It's IPX8 water resistant up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes, so it doesn't look like it's going to be dust resistant either. That's a big takeaway from this. In addition, they talk about the camera system, and it'll now have a 108 megapixel main camera, and also have a 2x optical zoom camera with a resolution of 64 megapixels. You'll also have the integration of a 12 megapixel wide angle lens for the Z Fold 5. And also about the S Pen, it looks like Samsung's developing a Galaxy Z Fold 5 that will have an S Pen tray with a flat S Pen shape to match the thickness of the device so it's not too large. So if you're hoping for S Pen integration, that should also continue to happen. They also say that Samsung is likely to launch the Snapdragon 985 5G, which will be named by Qualcomm. So kind of interesting they'd be going with and we've heard about that too actually, or at least I have, that they'd be using a different processor versus what they're using on the rest of the phone, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is the newest processor for Snapdragon 985. I'll be honest, I don't know much about it. I don't know if it performs as well or less So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that in terms of performance, but a lot of big takeaways from there, from the camera, the display, the outside. Actually, I didn't even mention this. The smaller outside display is also bigger in terms of length. It's taller, and it's also a little bit wider, which I guess we did talk about it, but showing it a little diagram of it is pretty big on there. So like, we're getting a phone that's kind of the same, but a little bit different in terms of some of the technologies. It doesn't look like they're giving us the best camera as of yet, still to this time. The best camera will reside still in the Galaxy S23 Ultra with that 200 megapixel camera. We're only gonna get 108 in the Z Fold 5. So it looks like at this time, unless they change something, they're gonna keep the Z Fold cameras a generation behind, which is so lame because it's still the most expensive phone. Let me know what you think about these leaks and rumors so far for the Z Fold 5. Is it enticing? Are you like, you know what, I'm looking to get the Pixel phone when that comes out for their folding device, or some other company? Let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's jump into the Q&A portion. Jackson Berger says, should he import the Xiaomi Fold 2 for $800? Better outside screen than the Fold 3. Now, I believe you live in America, so you're probably not gonna get the full range of, if this is gonna be your main phone, you're not gonna get the full range of radios that'll connect to your carrier. You'll get probably most of them just so it works, but you won't get the full range. So if you're fine with that, potentially, yeah, do it. I haven't played with that phone, so I don't know. But yeah, if it looks enticing to you, then. And our last question comes from WWright360. I just picked up a Model Y. I have the Fold 3. Looking at the S23 or Fold 5, what do you suggest for the Tesla? I would go Fold 5 just because it's so different versus an S phone, and you already have the Fold 3. I don't know how you could go back to a regular phone. I'm gonna go Fold 5 for the win. Thanks for watching. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag question, and we'll see you down the road.